Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats. I am Phil, and I'm here to introduce you to the new episode of the In the Mixer podcast. And yeah, we are going to talk to you about some Euros football, some European Championships. And to do that, I've got one Michael.
Hello.
And one Elias.
Yes.
Now, if you want to ask one of these beautiful men a question, you can always tweet us at In The Mixer Show or get in touch by email at inthemixerpodcast@gmail.com if you want to ask any questions. We'll read them out on the podcast because, God, do we need things to talk about. Right, as we are talking about the European Championships, I feel a good place to start is the European Championship matches. Now, we have got quite a few we've got to go through since the last episode, and we are going to start with Germany-Poland. An enthralling 0-0. Well, there wasn't that enthralling, as actually not much happened. Did either of you catch this one or not really?
I'm trying to think. It's quite a long time ago. I think I caught the majority of it, yeah.
I fell asleep in the first half, which amazingly in the last podcast I actually foreshadowed and said I'm going to fall asleep watching Germany versus Poland. So that was something.
Well, oh, right. So that's... Oh.
But
Okay,
I did catch some highlights, what was there, and it seems quite an even. Poland seems to hold their own, and I think these two will be the two teams that get out of the group. Yeah, and I think Poland, as expected, are going to be no pushovers in this competition.
Yeah, they just need to get Lewandowski going, really. Like, Milik has showed what he can do in these first games of the group. It's just to get Lewandowski a few goals, and he'll definitely be up there with the top strikers in this tournament.
Milik had a good chance. He scored against Northern Ireland, obviously got the winner in that game, but I think he missed a couple of chances in that game. I think he's not a clinical striker like Lewandowski, but he can get you a goal. And I think once they come up against better teams who will want to attack and open up the game a bit more, it's going to create that space for Lewandowski. And I think this game could have had a goal in it either way, but I think the draw's kind of fair. And I think it kind of goes. If we go back to the preview show, it kind of agrees with what we said back then. Like, Germany aren't perhaps the team they were, because perhaps they would have won this game if it was like 2 years ago when they were at the World Cup. And Poland, aren't the pushovers, and they're not just relying on Lewandowski to get points and results in this tournament.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it agrees with what we said in the previous podcast, but Germany being a bit flat, and they definitely struggled without. I mean, they brought Mario Gomez on in like the 70th minute, I think it was, and they struggled so much with Goetze up front to actually. I think they got like 3 shots on target in the game, so they were really flat. They did create a lot, and they always looked like they were dominating the game to me, but they'd never really threatened a tremendous amount. And I'm getting back to your point of Milik and Lewandowski. I feel that Milik can create chances on his own, and not that Lewandowski can't do that, but I feel he's more of a clinical striker rather than a creative striker. I think that's why they need to get Lewandowski into a position where he can score, whereas Milik can sort of create his own chance. But still, Poland still didn't have a shot on target, so they never really threatened to win the game either. It was a bore draw a bit.
Yeah.
It really. I don't think we've had one particularly a boring draw in the Euros so far, and I think this is probably the closest we've had to one so far.
Yeah, definitely the most boring game of the tournament so far. The first 0-0 of this tournament, and Germany pretty much just held the ball the entire game, and Poland had a few chances, and it was sort of it's a bit cagey. But I think a draw is actually a good result for both these teams. They now both sit joint top of the group with 4 points each. Germany have a very tough tie in Northern Ireland next. So if Poland beat Ukraine and Northern Ireland pinch a win against Germany,
oh god,
we could see Germany in third place.
No,
I don't know. I can't see that happening.
You can't see
Germany
Northern Ireland even getting a 1-0 against Germany.
No, because Germany is still solid. They never look like losing the game against Poland.
But they never look like winning it either.
No, I think they did. I think they've got to not start Goetze up front. Please, Joachim, please don't start Goetze up front because it's just painful to watch.
I think the lack of a goal scorer is starting to be realised in this tournament, and I think Germany. Do you think they'll go to Muller starting up front, or do you think?
No, I don't. I think
he wants him to play on the right.
I think the first thing they'll go for is to just start Gomez. But even when he came on against Poland, the game didn't change.
Yeah.
I think
they started playing a bit more direct when he came on.
Yeah, but I don't think that he particularly. I mean, obviously he's a tremendous scorer, but I don't know whether Germany are particularly used to playing with him. Like in recent history, so I don't know. They looked better attacking with Goetze on, but never looked like scoring. And like you said, they went direct with Gomez and sort of lost that possession, that flamboyance and flair and organisation that they had when Goetze was on. So I don't know. It's really difficult to say what they could do to win matches.
Yeah, I don't see Mario Gomez as a striker that can come off the bench and really make an impact.
Yeah,
I feel like he's a starting player. If it doesn't work out for him, you sub him off. Like he's not really that kind of play style. He hasn't got that quickness. He hasn't got that creativity himself. He just needs to get the ball to his feet or his head and just score goals. That's Mario Gomez.
Well, we probably won't have a podcast out until this group is done. So you've got Northern Ireland versus Germany, Poland versus Ukraine. You got any predictions for those two games, the final two games of the group? I think they're on Tuesday. So
yeah, they are. I think that both of the top two teams will win the games, and I think Germany will top the group on goal difference probably. Yeah, I think they'll both be 1 or 2-0.
Yeah,
and whichever way it goes, I think Germany will probably top it on goal difference.
Yeah, I don't see Northern Ireland doing anything against Germany. I'm just going to say there's going to be like 2 or 3-0. They look good defending, but I don't think they can defend against Germany.
Yeah, it'll be because Germany hold the ball for so long. Northern Ireland won't be able to cope as well as Poland did. I
disagree. I think Northern Ireland like playing like a game where the other team's got a lot of the ball. I think they will be able to hold out, and I think the Germany goal threat will be evident against Northern Ireland. I think they could get a point now. Maybe they might just lose it 1-0, but I think they'd take that considering they'll be on 3 points with a positive goal difference or a neutral goal difference on 0. They'd take that because that already sits them above Albania, who we'll get to in a minute.
So that was a good.
So if they lose 1-0 or 2-0, that is actually okay for Northern Ireland. They'll actually be above one team at least. So just get above another one, but it's leaving it to chance. But I can see Northern Ireland getting a 0-0 here. I think they're good enough. I think they're good enough. And I think Germany. I think their lack of a quality striker is gonna harm their chances in this game. And I think Northern Ireland against Ukraine were very impressive. And admittedly, Ukraine aren't the best team in this group, but I mean, I don't think anyone expected Northern Ireland to get a 2-0 result from that game. But yeah.
No.
Yeah, we'll go through the predictions of the groups as we go through this, and the next group we're going to go to is Group C, or is it? Yeah, it's C. It's Czech Republic, Croatia, Spain, and Turkey. Correct?
Yes.
That's D.
So although the next game we actually played was Italy, Sweden, we'll go straight on to C. D. No, it's C. It's definitely C.
It's D.
It's
Group
C.
D is Czech Republic, Croatia, Spain, Turkey. Wait, no. No, it's not. Spain. Wait.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's Group D. You know what, Michael? Sometimes you're the saviour. Right, Group D. Now we look silly. Bear rhymes. Czech Republic, Croatia, 2-2. Amazing scenes in this game. I mean, some questionable actions, disappointing actions from the Croatian fans. But we're not going to talk about that. We're a football podcast, not a news podcast. Croatia dropping a 2-goal lead against Czech Republic. It's worrying, isn't it, for them?
See, I know you say it's worrying and we're not a news podcast, but I feel that their 2-goal slip can be somewhat blamed on the fan trouble.
Well, they'd already conceded one by the time before that had happened.
But I think it's just like you lose concentration, it breaks down the game, and Croatia before they conceded, it was Croatia's game completely.
I think the turning point was when Modric was subbed off. Pretty much 2 minutes after the Rakitic goal, the second goal, he was subbed off, and Croatia just didn't have that toughness in midfield, that aggressive, like dog-like mentality where Modric is just everywhere, just winning balls, keeping possession and stuff. And I think it really unsettled them. And I think that was quite clear. Admittedly, Czech Republic weren't putting on the pressure they were until after the incident. But Croatia never looked the same team after he came off, and apparently he may be missing the final group game against Spain, and Croatia on 4 points. I mean, chances are they'll probably finish. They're on 4 points. If they finish third in the group, they will be one of the top 3 fourth place teams, top 4 third place teams. But I think winning this group, I think it helped. Like, obviously they want to win the group. They'll want to beat Spain. I mean, Modric is going to be a big miss, no?
I think in terms of winning the group, the result is irrelevant because they've still got to beat Spain.
Mm. Well, if they beat Spain, they finish top.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this result, if they want to win the group, is vastly irrelevant. But getting through it can be, or getting through in the top 2, it's obviously really important. But yeah, like I said, did you say Modric is going to miss the?
He may be missing the Spain game. Yeah.
Yeah, that will be a huge miss, massive.
Anything to add, Elias, or?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Czech Republic sitting third at the moment on 1 point. They play Turkey. Pretty much a win needed for that third place spot.
That
2 points probably won't
awful.
be enough for them to get
that
through
game
third.
is going to be awful.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still surprised that Czech Republic managed to score 2 in this game.
Mm.
Turkey. We'll get to the Turkey-Spain game.
Mm.
But
just go to it now because Turkey are sitting bottom of the group. They can still get 3 points, but with their goal difference, they'll probably have to win at least 4-0 to have any sort of chance of finishing in the best place, third place teams. That is hard to say. The best place, third place teams. What do you think that loss to Spain was a kick up the backside they needed, or do you think they're just a poor side?
No. They are. Yeah.
They're awful. I think they've disappointed even people that were that weren't optimistic for them. They've not turned up, and they just crumbled against Spain. 22 passes for the third goal, and there is, and we talked about it when we broke down the Turkish team. There is some quality players in there.
Yeah.
And to allow a goal, I know you can talk about Andres Iniesta being a magical midfielder, which he is, and Spain playing this tremendous football. For 22 passes, and the goal to, I don't know whether it was. I've not actually seen the replay whether it was offside or not, but still.
I think it was offside.
But like even if you're 2-0 down, that's what says to me that Turkey aren't going to have that kick up the backside. You're 2-0 down against Spain, to then allow that, they crumble.
I think it's kind of harsh to Turkey. So I think Spain are probably now, not in terms of odds, but I think are the favourites for the tournament now because they have been the best team, in my opinion. Yeah. I think they have been phenomenal, and I think they blew Turkey away. They would have blown the Czech Republic away if they'd got an early goal, probably. They may blow Croatia away. So is it a case of Turkey have just come up against a formidable Spanish side, or is it a bit of both that Turkey are just that poor?
It's definitely both. And I think Croatia, we'll see the difference in quality of Czech Republic, Turkey, when Spain play Croatia, because I think the game will be a lot tighter. And I think, because Spain haven't even been threatened, it's not like, I know they beat Turkey 3-0, but Turkey didn't never score in, and Czech Republic neither. So they haven't been threatened at all, and Croatia will add a threat, which will be interesting. Obviously, we're not seen Spain deal with a threat so far, but they could just walk out and do the same that they've done to both other teams. They'd just be dominant in possession and actually use it, unlike a lot of teams in this tournament haven't, like Germany.
Yeah, I'm going to go as far as saying that with this Spain-Turkey game, finishing 3-0, I'm going to say that one of the best teams of the tournament so far in Spain, and probably the worst team of this tournament, Turkey, came up against each other, and it really showed. Spain got Morata scoring, and I think that's going to be crucial for them progressing in this tournament. Turkey probably, I'm going to agree with Michael in that Turkey-Czech Republic game is going to be pretty horrible to watch, because Czech Republic are not looking good going forwards, and Turkey, if they go forwards, they got Czech to beat. So it's just going to be a ball draw, I think, 0-0.
You think? Oh, interesting. I think Czech Republic have more up front than they're given credit for. But an interesting little fact: if Czech Republic win 1-0 and Croatia lose 1-0, we will have both teams 3 goals for, 3 goals against. Both teams on 4 points, and I think it will actually go down to fair play of who finishes second. I think it will go down to fair play points. I think are the rules for this European Championships. It's kind of ridiculous. I would have liked to seen a playoff between the two, but yeah. Apparently that's what it's going to go down to. So.
5-a-side roll on, roll off.
Yeah, I think Czech Republic will probably win. I wouldn't be surprised if they won because, like you say, Spain are phenomenal, and I think Turkey just are awful. Yeah, I think Czech Republic have stuff going forward. They did score 2 goals against Croatia, but yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see. Football is a game you can predict, but aren't always right.
Portugal, Iceland.
Moving on. Italy versus Sweden. See? Now, how do you feel about that? I've gone in. That's my response to what you just said.
Yeah.
You dig me, I dig you. Now, to be fair, I thought Sweden were very unlucky, Elias. Zlatan Ibrahimovic had a very good chance. I think it was like the 80th minute, was it?
Something like that, yes.
And I think the result actually flattered Italy.
Oh, yeah.
But then I think 0-0 would have been the right result for this game. It wasn't extremely good. I thought, but yeah.
Sweden haven't had a shot on target for 2 games.
Yeah, I was about to say a 0-0 still would have flattered Sweden as well. I think so.
And the disappointment of the Swedish fans, like there are so many Swedish fans who just turned up in France, and we got pretty much a yellow wall. Hello, Michael Dortmund. Yeah, like there's so many optimistic fans. Like they played so well, they kept possession against Italy. Italy didn't look like scoring, and then, of course, he's just gonna walk.
I know you're gonna mention it.
He's gonna walk through the Swedish midfield. He's gonna walk through the Swedish defense. Gronqvist just falling with it.
He had such a good game.
It's such a brilliant video of a post-match interview with a fan that I need to show you later, but that's something for I can link it down in the description. But yeah, it was pretty much, we were optimistic. It looked like we could get a goal, but still, we haven't had a shot on target for 2 games, so I'm not sure what's going to happen against Belgium. We're probably going to get thrashed.
Yeah. Well, if you do beat Belgium, you will go through, unless, of course, Ireland beat Italy by 3 or 4 goals more than you beat Belgium. But yeah, when Adair was running through, it was almost like Isaacson was like, "Yeah, I dare you to shoot." Yeah,
wow, that was the worst.
And he did shoot, and he scored a goal. It was a very nice finish, I thought.
I wouldn't have worded it like that, but
I don't think anyone else would have, apart from me.
Sweden actually defended well, and I know Elias and we talked about Gronqvist before the Euros and whatever, but he actually had a really good game up until the point where he fell over when he was the last man, and Adair scored. But I think the bigger problem is not being able to score or get even a shot on target. Zlatan's just struggling so much.
A player that really stood out in this game was Albin Ekdal. He got the start.
Well, he came in, didn't he?
Yeah, and he really showed like he wanted to do something with the ball. He got the ball, he turned with it, and he got forward with it. It's something like Lewicki and Kjellström Dante. And also Martin Olsen still continues to convince, and the crosses he puts in are just perfect for attackers. I don't know how we haven't even had a header going in or even on target.
Yeah, well, Ekdal coming on obviously brought the best out of Kim Kjellström.
So I have a question for Elias.
Yes.
Given you're our local Swedish expert, is there anything you change with the Swedish team? Do you think you should keep Ekdal in, or what do you think needs to change?
I'll answer this one for him.
Okay. Oh right.
I'm gonna go. He wants to change the entire formation and system.
Well, 4-4-2.
Yeah. Well, I'd assume you change the formation.
Of course I would. It's fucking 4-4-2. But yeah.
Leicester won the title on a 4-4-2.
I am not convinced by the 4-4-2 system, and we haven't got the players to play a 4-4-2 system. Sebastian Larsson should be kicked out of the squad, should be sent home.
He's not a winger anymore.
Crucified.
He's too old.
Come on, Birmingham legend.
Yeah, people are being harsh Like
first the yellow wall reference, and now okay.
Yeah, but he looked like he tried to do something, but it just didn't work out in this game. He got the ball in good positions. His crossing was absolutely awful.
Questionable.
Questionable, at least. And I don't know. Guidetti starting, I liked it. He didn't get a lot of the ball, but he's a workhorse. He really He really likes to run towards the defense and keep up the pressure.
You can see that Guidetti is very much frustrated by Sweden not getting a shot on target, and that you can see that he worked so hard. And I don't think, like, you see players like Ronaldo show frustration massively. I don't think Guidetti shows it, but you can almost see it in the way that he plays.
Guidetti's a frustrating player, and like he was so successful at the under-21s level, and now he's come up to the main level. He doesn't seem to be scoring as many goals. I don't know if that's because he was playing a different... Like, obviously, maybe at the under-21 level, he was perhaps the main man, like Ibrahimovic is in this team. So perhaps he's not... He's more in the team to score goals, whereas in his role in this team is slightly different. But with the formation, the 4-4-2, I actually thought you dealt with Italy quite well, actually. I thought you nullified their midfield, and it actually didn't look like you were outnumbered in the midfield. And I think the draw actually would have been quite a fair result, and I think Italy were very fortunate in the way they scored, obviously with Grunkvist falling flat on his backside. But I think Italy, first team to qualify first in their group, guaranteed. And yeah, they've done very well this tournament, surprised a lot of people. Yeah, but should we move on to the other game of Group C, or I feel we're down Sweden all day?
I'm going to be so frustrated if we continue, so yes, please.
Belgium. Now, Elias's eyes will light up when we move to this, because, of course, he predicted Belgium to win the tournament. And he predicted Romelu Lukaku to top score. And both of those things look very possible after this phenomenal result. The island I predicted turned up. They huffed and puffed, but they couldn't blow the Belgian wall down.
Oh, I knew that reference.
No, come on, they absolutely capitulated in that second half. Belgium's quality just shone through, and I think the addition of Moussa Dembele in that team was phenomenal, and it added so much to their midfield. It added an actual spine, you know?
Well, unfortunately, I left a Father's Day card for my dad in my friend's car. So I left in the 47th minute to go and collect it and arrive back in the 72nd. So I missed 3 goals.
The moral of the story there is to park closer.
or not leave.
Take that long to walk to your car.
I didn't walk, I drove. He lives a long way
Wait, you
away,
drove to your car?
No, I didn't leave it in my. All right. Oh, now I've got to explain. So
please.
My friend was going to Tesco, and I needed a Father's Day card. So I said, "Yeah, go on then, John. I'll come with
John?
you." Who is John? And I went in his car and put the card in the boot, and then got out because my friend's leaving for Sweden. So I said my goodbyes to him, not John, and then left it in his car. Then I had to drive to John's house, which is about a 20-minute drive, 15 if you push it, and then I missed the goals.
Phenomenal.
What? It's a 15-minute drive, and you got back in 25 minutes.
I left like just in half time ish.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was just kicking off when I left, but I still missed all the goals.
Yeah, Lukaku, a bit emotional for his first goal. He really showed that he's trying to score, but it hasn't really worked out. But hopefully he gets going, and well, I hope not for the Sweden game, but to get through the group.
Well, I said in the last episode, didn't I? He scores in flurries. So this is really worrying, not just for Sweden, but for everyone else in this tournament, because I think Lukaku will probably score every game he plays now. I honestly think he's probably going to score in every game he plays, and if that happens, Belgium have a very realistic chance of going on to win the European Championships this year.
Yeah,
it's a big jump from it's only been the one game against Republic of Ireland though. So I know he scores in flurries and stuff, but
yeah, but that's the Belgian performance we expected against Italy. This isn't a Belgium that's just come out of nowhere. This is the one we expected to see.
Republic of Ireland. This is, I don't know. I slightly disagree in that Italy defend really well, and like were deserved of their their credit against Belgium. And Republic of Ireland, while they defend well, they're nowhere near the quality. So I don't think you can base it off that. It's only 2 games. I don't think you can go from a bold prediction of like Belgium flopping in the first game and then against the Republic of Ireland becoming a masterclass team. I don't know. I wouldn't. I think Lukaku will have a better tournament now that he's got running, and Belgium will probably have a better tournament than showed against Italy. But still, I don't know.
I completely disagree, because football is a game of such fine margins, and you think of how many chances Lukaku had against Italy. If his confidence up, he scores at least one of those 3 chances he had, and that game is completely different, because at 1-0 it's 1-1. Belgium probably go on and maybe even win the game. So I think Italy played well. They got a great win there. Belgium weren't poor in that game. Their finishing was awful.
Yeah. Okay.
But they weren't poor. And if they took their chances, we'd be having a completely different conversation now, and Belgium would be top of the group confirmed already.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see with it. We'll see what happens.
I think we should settle this with a traditional fist fight.
Oh, okay. Well, hold that thought, because first we've got to talk about what almost ended in a fist fight. Portugal-Austria. Now, I didn't see the game, so I don't know if that's true, but I did see that Ronaldo lost his temper a little bit. He had a terrible time there, bless him.
I thought you were going to say he got a selfie with a fan, but...
Did he?
Yeah, at the end of the game.
Aww.
Have you not seen how humane Ronaldo was after all his frustrations? A pitch invader was still allowed to get a selfie with him.
Later he said the pitch invader, it was a small mentality running onto the pitch like he'd won the Euros. He was very disappointed. But, yeah, so what do you want to go first? Iceland or Hungary, or Portugal or Austria? Both games interesting for different reasons. Out of the way. Which one's
the
shit?
0-0.
Portugal. Okay, so the Ronaldo show, pretty much. It was like, you know Charlie Chaplin?
No.
No?
Yes.
But yes, but no.
Like, he goes around and just does stupid things, and like, Mr. Bean, alright, Michael? Mr. Bean.
I understand who Charlie Chaplin is, I'm just not sure where the reference is.
But what I'm saying is, it's like Ronaldo, he's just in his own movie, doing everything wrong. You know, it's like, oh no, when's it going to go well for him? It just doesn't happen. And I felt so bad. I really did feel bad for him.
You feel bad for him?
Yeah, I do. He had so many chances. He's arguably one of the best players he is one of the best players in the world. He's arguably the best player in the world. He's won the Champions League this season, and he can't even score a penalty when you put your house on it, you know? And I felt sorry for him. It's not going his way. There's some witchcraft at play here.
Oh, right.
And,
okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And I think unjustly, because there are other good players in this Portugal side. He is getting the brunt of it.
Definitely.
You've got Quaresma and Nani in there, who I thought Quaresma coming in added a lot.
I don't know.
I don't know. No, I mean in terms of width, in terms of the space he created. But I mean, this was Portugal bossed this game. Absolutely bossed this game. And I think there was a stat somewhere of how many shots Ronaldo had. Hang on, I'll get it up here.
20 shots.
Was it 20? Was it 20 shots? Yeah.
It's 4 on target.
Wait, is that this? That's this tournament, isn't it?
This tournament.
Oh, that's this tournament. Well, he had 10 shots against Austria. I mean, you've got to think. Surely it's got to click. But have we got time? Because if it doesn't click in the next game, Portugal will probably go out.
So, are you saying his movie's finished now and the sequel's coming out where he does really well in the next game?
No, because the first film didn't do very well, so it probably won't get a sequel.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's Portugal-Hungary. Hungary will need. I think a draw guarantees Hungary through. No, I think Hungary are pretty much through now because they're on 4 points. So 4 points will definitely get them through at this point because you've got Albania on 3 and 3rd. You're probably going to have Northern Ireland if they lose to Germany on 3 points. So 4 points has probably got Hungary through. So it depends how Hungary play the game against Portugal, whether they'll sit back, which, I mean, they've got nothing, they may even rest players. Portugal could win that game 9-0. Or 0-0.
Yeah.
They could win it 0-0. I'm saying it now. First team to win a game 0-0.
I've got a short question. Was that the most recent penalty that Ronaldo scored, wasn't that to win the Champions League final?
Yes.
And he misses this one.
Well, this wasn't the Champions League final. He steps up in the big occasions.
The movie sequence continues. I'm just going to go back to your Nani and Quaresma point. I actually didn't think they were that good.
No.
Getting away from the movie stuff. it is still the Ronaldo show, and we can sit here and say, oh, Ronaldo played really well and Portugal would have won. We're sitting here and saying Ronaldo didn't play very well and Portugal didn't win. So, yeah.
You can almost say Ronaldo no show. Am I right?
Well,
yeah.
Getting off movie points and Big Carez Mama's House, the nanny edition. We'll move on to Iceland versus Hungary. That was poor.
I wanted to say that I thought Moutinho had a really good game.
Well, I'm sure he'll be thrilled to hear that.
I think
we'll get in touch. See what he thinks, Michael. We'll move on to Iceland Hungary because we don't have enough time to talk about Moutinho, and he breaks my heart when he never signed for Spurs. Iceland and Hungary. Now, this was a nice game. This was nice. I like this. I like Iceland.
Nice.
Iceland are a good little team.
Nice.
Hungary are also a good little team. It's a great time.
It was lovely. It was a lovely game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Iceland.
Flowers.
Oh, everyone's going mad. They're winning. They're going to win. Oh, is this a late goal for Hungary? But you can't boo them, even though you like Iceland, because they're also quite a minnow team. Oh, it's great. Oh, Heineke Johnson's always scored a winner. Didn't know what to do with myself in this game. I was having a great time watching this one. It was just fun. It was just a nice game of football. How often do you see a nice game of football? Not very often.
Yeah, okay. Iceland did only have 29% possession in this game, which is the lowest of any team in the tournament so far.
That's how they play.
I'm just pointing out the facts.
Did you see the penalty incident for Iceland?
I'm trying to remember. I did watch the game, so I can't.
So I don't think I saw it. I saw the penalty. I didn't see the penalty incident. I missed that, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this sets the group up quite nicely now. I think all teams can go through. I think Hungary are the only team that are actually through, but even though it's not actually mathematically confirmed at this point, Iceland, Portugal, and Austria can all go through if they win. Austria and Iceland is going to be the game to watch in this one. Austria have something to prove. Iceland, if Iceland get through, the scenes will be insane. I'll love it.
Scenes.
I'll be an Iceland fan for the day, even though I want Portugal to win the whole thing. But yeah, hopefully Iceland pulls something out of the bag against Austria. A point may even be enough. 3 points with 0 goal difference may be enough. But a win will guarantee them through in that group. You got any predictions for Iceland, Austria, Portugal, Hungary, or not?
Well, Austria haven't looked very good going forwards. I think Iceland could get a 1-1 or a 0-0.
I think that's going to finish 0-0. I think with the way Iceland play and the way Austria have been playing.
You think Austria are going to crash out the tournament with no goals?
I think they could. I genuinely think they could.
They haven't looked very good forwards. So
they have nobody to score.
It's whether they'll step up when the occasion presents itself.
Maybe, but like Austria still has a Iceland. I think Iceland will struggle to score against Austria because Austria still have a really solid up to strikers kind of team. I think Baumgartling is so good in that team. Like, it works so hard and it just adds everything to that midfield. And I still think they have a solid defence as well. But I don't know who. I couldn't go. Well, so and so is going to score for Austria because I just don't.
Well, the obvious one is Janko, isn't it? But he hasn't looked.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even complete the 90 minutes against them.
They've got Sabitzer as well. I think they usually bring off the bench or he starts. I can't really remember. I can't pick out who's going to score for them.
Yeah.
Even Arnautovic, or Harnik. I don't know. I don't know who's going to score. So, but they could just turn up for that last game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all had pretty high hopes for Austria, and it looks like they could crash out bottom of this group. Which would be a shame because they've got a nice little generation of players there, a nice group of players, good squad, and it'll be disappointing for them. But that's football sometimes.
I think they are also trying. Well, they brought Alaba off really early in the game against Portugal. I think for Alexander Schopf, who's obviously more attacking than Alaba. I don't know whether that was them trying to win the game.
There's possibly them resting him for the more important
or relieve pressure. But I was going to say maybe they're pointing their hopes towards the last game and the rest in Alaba. But I thought Schopf was actually really good when he came on. Schopf's a lot more comfortable on the ball to carry it forward. I know that may sound like Schalke bias, but I definitely wouldn't replace him for Alaba, of course. Like, I think Alaba 100% has to play the full 90 in that game. But I'd like to see Schopf maybe start. Like, if they've brought him off the bench twice now, and both times he's held the ball well, carried it forward, maybe he could be a bit more impactful for Austria.
Okay. So, from a shopaholic, am I right? To I haven't thought of that bit. France versus Switzerland. I predicted in the last podcast it would be a draw because both teams needed a draw to get through, and it was a 0-0. And yeah, very disappointed by this game. I think people looked at this game and saw. I think people looked at this game and saw goals. No.
But I actually thought it was a good game.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it. I was watching Romania-Albania and just sort of watching this one on my phone. I saw Pogba hit the bar in the first half.
Pogba's first half was ridiculous. He was getting shots off, and he was he had a volley inside the box from the left, who he almost scored. That was a stroke moment, and yeah, and he also had that shot that hit the bar, and he also had a banger with his right foot that Jansson almost tipped into his own goal. So I was really impressed with Pogba's first half, and Gignac also looked very good, I think.
Still didn't get me any extra fantasy league points in that first half though, so to me it's irrelevant. But and Giroud not starting also did not help my fantasy league, and I don't actually know how to make substitutions on the UEFA Euro Fantasy website.
You have to do it
before
the games kick off. You can do it every day.
I've tried. I've literally been on there every day.
Well, I'm smashing it, so.
Oh, well, that's no surprise.
Do it after the podcast, Michael.
That's why you're the host.
Because I'm a knowledgeable man.
We are now a fantasy podcast.
But yeah, I think that the lineup of France told a lot. I think they were resting a lot of players. Moussa Sissoko, Cabaye, Gignac, Koeman all started. On the bench, you had Matuidi, Kante, Payet, and you could arguably say Giroud was rested. A lot of people, I think, will probably say he's dropped just because he gets a lot of stick. But I think he's probably rested. I think he'll probably start in the next. I think he'll start in the next game.
Yeah, he was definitely rested.
Gignac didn't seem to offer much, in my opinion. I don't know.
One thing that was really bizarre about this game was that Switzerland, they got 4 shirts replaced.
Oh yeah.
And the ball broke.
And the ball, yeah.
I've never seen the ball break in a game, break in a game, and that was and all the shirts that were being pulled. I think Pogba was behind 3 of those pulled shirts.
Yeah, my dad was really. My dad called. I was watching. Well, I was on and off watching the Romania Albania game. My dad was watching the Switzerland-France game, and the amount of times I just heard him shouting, "If he rips his shirt, he must be sent off." And I'm not sure where the logic in that. I'm pretty sure that must be a rugby thing because my dad is majority rugby fan.
And we are now a rugby podcast.
I've watched it back, and the shirt's ripped really easily for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the Switzerland supplier of shirts are, but they definitely should improve their integrity. There we go.
Excellent work. So Switzerland's shirts made of tracing paper, the stand-up feature of Switzerland versus France. Excellent. Romania versus Albania. Then I watched this one. I didn't. Romania.
Watch on and off.
Really, really poor. Frustratingly poor. They kept giving the ball away when they needed a goal, and Sadiku's goal was just an absolute shambles. Did you see the goal?
I did, yeah.
I mean, what did you think, Michael? As a goalkeeping expert, you've got. I think
everything was questionable. I think everything was questionable about the goal. Defending, like the defensive line, was just.
Well, they caught him cold on the break. I think.
Yeah, but still, it's like Romania's. I don't know how much. Like some of them go forwards, some of them go backwards. I think there was another incident as well where the ball came across and it was almost an open goal. And I think Albania skied it, and that just showed the defensive line what was to come. But the keeper just sort of runs around his 6-yard area for the goal.
I have no idea what he's doing. Kirik is just sort of holding the space, he's expecting some sort of. He's sort of challenging the header at the same time, but also looking in the 6-yard box in case there's anyone to knock the ball down to. If the keeper stays on his line, there's no threat there.
I've got a screenshot up of as the ball's headed, and the keeper is like he's covering his front post, and I get what Kirikez is trying to do in that he's covering the space if it's cut back, but he's also trying to cover that back post. But there's no other Romanian defenders there.
There's no.
There's nobody else. There's like 3 players: a goalkeeper, a defender, and an attacker. And I think what has to happen is, I think Kirikez has to go back post. Someone else should cover the space, and maybe the goalkeeper can cover his front post. But in the end, they all just sort of ran around like headless chickens, and the ball ended up in the back.
But the way the ball is, he's not going to get any power on that header. The keeper's. If he's on his line, he catches it. He catches it.
Yeah.
Or he just palms it. But
I think he's misjudged the cross. I don't
know.
I think he's tried to. I think he's thought I can come and get this.
I think that's what Kirikez's position is down to as well, because he must shout. Kirikez has no idea where his goalkeeper is.
Yeah.
No idea.
Well, I think you can see Kirikez is running towards the ball. His goalkeeper crosses his line of sight, and then he drops back. So it's almost like Kirikez realised the keeper has made a mistake before the keeper's realised he's made a mistake.
I mean, Kirikez's defending isn't perfect, but I don't think he's at fault for the game. I don't even think it's a good header. Was it bounced like 3 times before it went over the line?
I think it is a good header. I think it is a good header because it's like floated back into that.
I mean, it's on target.
It's on target, but it's floated back into the area where neither Kirikez or keeper can get it.
Oh, I don't think he's doing that. I think he's just trying to get it towards goal. He's seen the keeper going. I don't think he's aimed it around Kirikez. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those awful goalkeeping mistakes. It just leaves an open goal pretty much. He's left an open goal, hasn't he?
The keeper also ends up behind his net after the goal because he runs around the back of it.
I don't have any idea what. I mean, I was actually praising the Romanian defence before this tournament, and they've looked solid. And then they come up against Albania, and a game where they have to attack, they just fall to pieces.
It was probably just they were caught by the situation. Like they need to beat like arguably the worst team in the group, and they just can't do anything. And I was saying like Romania, I had high hopes for them. I thought they could win this game and get through. But yeah, a disappointment, I think.
I think you say Albania are the worst team, but I think out of what we've seen, personally, I don't know if you agree with this, I think Albania were the best defensive team in this group. But I mean, disappointing for Romania. And then the second half, they just kept giving the ball. Like there was times, so many times in the last 10 minutes, when Torre came on, he just kept running at play, just giving the ball away. It's just poor. It was really poor. Stanky was also
Raheem
poor.
Sterling.
I mean, just Raheem Sterling in the middle. But it was awful. It was just frustrating to watch Romania.
But they did have a goal disallowed, Romania, for offside, which wasn't offside. So
I don't think they did.
Or I don't think the ball went in the back of the net, but there was a player stood in front of an
open
goal.
Yes, of course, yes.
And it wasn't offside, was it?
Sorry, no, it wasn't offside. The fullback played him on. He played it. He played him through, and he squared it across, and the referee. That was a poor decision. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. So. Like you can say Romania were robbed of that, but
a draw still wouldn't have been enough.
No, but they did. I think, like we praise Romania's defence. They still have something going forward in this game. I know it's against Albania, but like I thought they had maybe less chances than you'd have thought. Like, but they still had 2 or 3 really good chances. Like they had the offside one. They had the one where the ball was like flicked through. And I don't know who it was running through that hit the side netting.
Oh, that was I think that was Torre. I think.
Yeah.
Stanky.
Or hit the bar maybe. I can't remember.
Oh, they hit the bar. Yeah. That was Torre. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, they still could have scored, but
there was a nice volley in the first half at 0-0. Stanku, it sort of just bounced and just out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm missing this. Back to goal, sort of turns his body, hits it, catches it so well, just straight at the keeper. And Romania, I think they're going to be very disappointed. The fact they've bottomed this group.
Oh yeah.
That's so disappointing for them. I think.
From what we saw against the strong team,
quite positive when it came to them.
Yeah. But I did find it funny as well. I think it was in the last 10 minutes when Albania hit the side net from a corner and the whole crowd celebrated as well. They all started their scenes, and it was just not like none of the players even thought it was in. I found that quite amusing as well.
I don't think Albania will get through though. For their third place, 3 points with -2 goal difference. I'm not sure that'll be enough with the way the other groups are lining up.
We said that result is brilliant for Northern Ireland earlier because it leaves them in a better position.
Well, they're currently on 0 goal difference.
So
plus 1 goal difference.
So, it obviously depends what happens in the last game against Germany. So yeah, it's still difficult for Albania.
Yeah, but they celebrate those scenes at the end there. Everyone seems happy. But I mean, they've played 3 games. They're the only team to have played 3 games out of the third place teams, and they're only third. So they're gonna, they're gonna struggle to get through in that group.
Yeah.
So we've covered everything. I suppose today is
games.
Monday, so we should probably predict Group B. England versus Slovakia.
I'm already nervous.
Yeah. Let's go with the start. How do you think Roy Hodgson's gonna line up? Do you think he starts Sturridge and Vardy?
Well, have you seen, I'm not sure if anybody's seen the rumours going around on Twitter that there's going to be 6 changes made.
Wow, that's risky.
That's as many as France made against Switzerland when France were already through.
Yeah, they were already through. Yeah, Slovakia aren't pushovers,
and Slovakia are. I don't know whether they're probably joint second best team in this group. Well, they are on points and goal difference, but as in the way that they play, they'll offer something different to what Wales did, and that they'll be a lot better going forward. Which with England's defence, no. So
I think
I'm nervous, but I also have high hopes because I think that as solid as Slovakia are with their defence and as experienced as they are, I still think England offer a lot going forward, no matter how they line up.
I think the 6 changes you mentioned would be interesting, because if they do make 6 changes, if they bring on Vardy and Sturridge for Sterling and Kane, they'll probably bring on Wilshere for Rooney, who has looked a bit leggy. They may change the fullbacks, Rose and Walker, because they've done a lot of running.
What was rumoured.
That's 5 changes. Who's the other one? Are they going to put in Forster for Hart? Surely not. I think that's harsh if they do that. Perhaps Barkley in for Ali, maybe? Or Milner in? I don't know. 6 changes is a lot, and there's a lot.
Maybe Stones in at centre-back.
I don't think he changed the centre. That seems reckless.
No, after Stone's season as well, I don't think he's any better than Gary Cahill Smalling.
I'm trying to think of who the 6th change would be.
I think it's either Ali or Joe Hart. Can't think of who else it would be. But England are through pretty much. They're on 4 points. If they finish third, they'll probably go through. Can they still finish bottom of this group? No, they can't.
Oh, it's Jordan Henderson.
Oh, was it Henderson was the other one?
Okay. So Bertrand, Stones, Klein, Wilshere, Sturridge, Vardy / Rashford. Oh, so that's different to what I've just read in the previous paragraph. Right, never mind. Just scrap that.
Excellent.
We'll stick to our own coverage and just go for. I don't think England will make as many as 6 changes. I think there will have to be changes.
I think that's very reckless.
And Roy's not a reckless manager.
I think he's in quite a tough position, because I think if say for example he studied Slovakia, and he said, right, we're going to start Kane because he's good in the air against these poor centre backs. We're going to start Sterling, blah blah blah. Right? If he's gone through that in his mind, he has a justifiable system, and on paper it's faultless. Whatever happens, he'll win. If he doesn't play Sturridge and Vardy, he is going to get so much stick, no matter what.
This is what I mean. But if he does do that, and England don't get the result that they need, it's then criticism's going to go back to him.
Well, I don't think it will, because England will probably get through even if they lose. So,
right,
I think he'll be all right.
This is what it's like to be England manager for me. I think he makes changes England don't perform. It's his fault. Even the changes that everyone's calling out for, he doesn't make changes, and England give the same performance, which has been good. And I don't think Roy Hodgson can really win in this situation, apart from if he makes changes and England come out and blow Slovakia away.
It's amazing. He doesn't even get England credit for the changes he made, like you said. It's like, everyone would have made those changes. It's like, well,
yeah,
he's a very high pressure position, watching the game from a different perspective to you. He's right there on the touchline. Poor old Roy, bless him.
I think Roy's had a good tournament so far. Maybe questionable in the first game, but it was the first game. He still doesn't know how the team's how the team's shaped up in France and whatever.
Yeah. He'll be in the best.
So I trust him. I trust him to make the right decision for the Slovakia game, but it still nerves me. Knowing that it's England.
Yeah. So Russia, Wales. We'll move on to that. What do we think?
I don't know about Russia anymore. I had high hopes for Russia. They haven't turned up. Wales could get another free kick probably, but I don't know. I don't know.
I liked Russia in the last 20 minutes of the Slovakia game. I liked Russia attacking. I like them going forward. They have to win this game. They have to win. I think them going at Wales, we could see a good Russia performance. I'm not saying they'll win. I say we will see a different Russia.
A different Russia.
And I think they may cause Wales problems. But yeah, I don't.
If Russia go out how they've played in the last 20/15 minutes of both their games so far, I think Russia get a result against Wales. But if they go how they've played the first 70 minutes,
well, they have to win the game, so they've got to go out and win.
Yeah, exactly. But do Russia like defend or trying to defend? Or do Russia like pressure on themselves?
I mean, they did.
I don't know. They play. We discussed this after the. I can't remember. I think it was after the. Was it after the Slovakia game?
I can't remember.
We said that Russia plays so much better attacking, so they've got to go out and try and beat Wales. But Wales will still be really solid. I think it'd be a good game actually. I think that'll be a better spectacle than England Slovakia.
I think there's flair players are showing Slovakia and England, but
oh yeah,
Russia Wales. There's a lot on the line in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see if the passion gets Wales through. Passion over money, and we'll see if Wales will be begging for a couple of England players in their team after that game. So I think we're pretty much done with our coverage of the previous games. Now, I have a game which I've made literally whilst we're doing the podcast because I didn't have time to do it last night. This game is called. No, it's not. This game is called Manager Mayhem.
Oh god, that sounds like a bad rip-off of Football Manager.
It's Manager Mayhem. I have got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 managers. 9 managers! He says. Yes, I say 9 managers.
Oh,
we have got Michael. We have got Elias, who is 3-0. 3-0. 3 goals to 0, even though they're points. Oh. We have got Michael versus Elias. We've got 9 managers. I'm going to read out their teams they have managed. First one to shout out the name of the correct manager wins. If you shout out the incorrect manager, you are not allowed.
Oh, right.
I say it again until the other person has guessed. Say I read the third team, Elias shouts out blah 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 blah. Elias cannot say anything until Michael guesses. And then if Michael guesses wrong, Elias can guess again. Okay. But it's not in order. Just shout out when you want. All right? Or shout out your name and I'll ask you in a calm manner. Okay?
Okay.
Right. First manager then of Manager Mayhem.
Yeah, wait. Can I get a question before? Are these managers from the Euros?
They're all from the Euros. All from the Euros. You've heard of them all. Don't worry. I haven't picked any too mental ones that are just out there. Teams managed: Monaco, Juventus, Marseille,
Deschamps.
Conte?
Deschamps is correct. Ali
Yes!
gets the point. Teams managed: Halmstad's BK, Bristol City,
Roy Hodgson.
Unbelievable. Elias is there again.
As soon as the Swedish one came out, I was just waiting for the second one just to see if it was.
These are really easy. Right.
Well, don't say that he's beaten me.
Freiburg, Stuttgart.
Joachim Löw.
Oh my goodness, just go with the country.
Michael, please.
It's 3-0.
Yeah, but I'm waiting because I'm scared you're going to just throw out like a Bursaspor and he's going to be wrong. I don't want to commit too early or something, but it's not working in my favour.
Brecon City.
Michael O'Neill.
Yes! He's got a...
Yes!
Elias, come on, man, step it up. Michael's got a point.
Wow.
You're falling behind. I think everyone wants Michael to do something because he's falling so behind. It's getting a bit pathetic now.
It is.
Teams managed: Real Madrid B, Real Madrid.
Oh,
Real Madrid.
The Bosque.
Correct.
I almost said
I said that at
Zidane.
the same time.
I almost
You said Zidane? Wait, you said Zidane
I
first.
almost said
You
Zidane.
almost said. If you'd said Zidane, I would have
Oh,
had to
hang
hand
on.
it over to
Why?
my-
I also said Del Bosque.
When?
At the same time.
We're gonna have to have a photo finish on this one.
You'll hear it back.
Okay,
It's
okay.
fine.
Hey, no,
At
no,
least
no,
you
no,
have the
no.
point.
Okay.
You'll hear it back.
Whoever gets closest to his age, I'll give the point to. Michael, you go first.
Oh my God. 62.
67.
Elias. Elias.
67.
He is 65. Elias is closer by 1 year. Elias gets the point.
I cannot. I'm not playing.
You're awful at just games. Right, okay, here we go. Here we go.
I
here we
need
go.
one.
Is
to
one
win.
closer?
I need one to win.
Yeah, Elias needs one to win. Alright. Okay.
I'm gonna just go for it.
Killer Force IF. Arbra. Huddles. Cadix Vales. Sweden
this
under
is Eric
21s.
Hamran.
Fuck. That's not right.
Oh,
I thought
Alice
we
is
were
wrong.
pushing teams. Oh,
Really?
what?
What?
I also made a guess.
Wait, what did you both say?
I said Slutsky.
I said Hamran.
Okay, well then you can both guess again. Sweden B. Sweden. Nigeria.
Oh, Lars Lagerbäck.
Lars Lagerbäck is correct. Elias wins.
Hello.
Oh, there's only 3 left. Do you want to have a go at them anyway?
Yeah.
How was there only 3 left?
Because we've done 6 and that was
6.
9.
Oh, I think meant the managers in
You're
the
5-1
tournament.
down. You are literally Germany. Arezzo, Bari, Atalanta, Siena,
Conte.
Juventus. Conte, correct.
Oh, did someone say Conte? Oh, I didn't
Elias said
hear Elias say
Conte,
Conte.
Did
I didn't hear him say
someone
it.
Since there's someone from a
It
distance.
didn't even come through on mine, so I didn't even hear him say it. He just went Conte, correct. I was just like, why you went to
Schalke.
your own...
Sint-Truiden,
Schalke?
Belgium assistant.
Mark Wilmot.
Mark Wilmot.
What? But when was Vilmot Schalke
He was interim manager in 2003. The Schalke fan. Oh.
I did say it, but after. I was
Okay.
also
I'll tell you what. Because Michael's so
I was
far
late.
behind, this one is worth.
Wins it all.
This one is worth. How many points has Ellis got? 7. Michael's got 1. This point is worth 7 points. This one.
No,
Wow.
how is this? No.
Golden,
No,
golden
it's
goal.
allowed.
Golden goal.
It's gone to extra time.
It's gone so much time. Golden
Wait.
goal.
Oh my god.
Ellis, if you don't get this, you lose. Sorry. Grantham Town. Shed Charterhouse.
Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill.
Well, what was it called?
Did you say Gary O'Neill?
Oh my god.
Mike Ellis, did you say Gary O'Neill?
Yes.
Incorrect. Michael gets to hear the rest of the teams. Wycombe Wanderers. Norwich City. Leicester City. Celtic. Aston Villa. Sunderland.
I don't know.
Oh my
It's
god.
what is
Ellis,
got?
you
I
have to
can't
get this and win.
Martin
It's
O'Neill.
impossible.
Martin
For
O'Neill,
seven-
Michael
For
wins.
7 points. He's got it. Yes. I knew I was going to make it through today.
Why did I say Gary?
Gary O'Neill, the well-known,
Oh my.
always underappreciated central midfielder. He's the Premier League's Jamie O'Hara.
Gary O'Neill. I
Unbelievable.
got the last
week.
name right.
How did you lose
Oh,
that,
wait.
Ellis? You were 7-1 up.
I was literally
5,
Germany
6.
against Brazil, and I bottle it. I am a worse bottler than Steven Gerrard.
So a couple of that's unnecessary. A couple of little interesting facts. Copa America action. Chile beat Mexico
7-0.
7-0. Sorry.
7-0.
Argentina beat who was it? Venezuela 4-1. So that's
Who do we think's gonna win
that's
it?
nicely. I don't know. We're a Euros podcast.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Probably
opinions.
Argentina.
We're a football
We
podcast.
don't have any opinions about the Copa America.
I think USA might beat Argentina.
How's it going in the rugby, Phil?
Oh, it's good. They're throwing it backwards. It's great. Basketball. Cleveland Cavaliers won. Any more sports we want to ascertain?
Darts.
that even-
Tennis. Andy Murray beat.
Oh, I want to bet on that. I want to bet when he was like going to
Andy Murray
lose.
beat Ranic.
Ranich, yep.
He
I
was
thought
out.
his name was a anagram of ironic. Turns out it wasn't.
Okay.
And yes, so excellent, great time, guys. Excellent podcast, fantastic. This will be edited and up soon. Well, you'd know that because you're listening to it. Thank you very much for listening. I am Phil, and I'm going to say goodbye right after these two say goodbye now.
I am Michael, and I am 4-1 down.
3-1 down.
Bye. 3-1 down. Yes.
Yeah.
Can the next thing be worth 2 points?
No. You've got a
Okay.
whole Euros to catch up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Ellie's, and I'm not going to play the record of this episode because I get shouted at by the host. So, bye.
He does. He does. I take him out back.
It is very loud.
Threaten to put him down. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.